What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and for today's Yu-Gi-Oh news video, it is all about the third and final archetype that is going to be in Amazing Defenders, and it is known as the Mikano archetype. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm looking at these cards, I'm looking at the artworks of these cards, and it looks like something out of Dan Machi in collaboration with ReZero and like I don't know. I guess maybe One Piece. I don't know. I never really thought about it, but it looks like something out of or actually no, not One Piece. It looks like a combination of Dan Machi. Sorry guys, I'm like trying to rephrase what I'm saying. I apologize. It looks like a collaboration, if you will, of Dan Machi, ReZero, and Konosuba. If you guys have not seen any of those three anime, I recommend you watch them. They are insanely good. They're funny, but they're pretty good. But what's cool about this archetype is that it's basically a ritual. It's basically it's a ritual equip archetype. So the main strategy behind the deck is all about the equip spells, and there's actually a few of them from what I can see, and your main boss monster is actually their ritual monster, which is what is known. It is known as Mikano of the Uhime, which I will talk about her effect here in a little bit. But not only do we have that, we also have as well another new card for the archetype that apparently they decided to make it a separate article on its own, and it's actually a new equip spell for them as well. Plus, we also have I guess all the reprints. I guess the reprints for not one but two of the new cards for not one but two of the archetypes will be in the set. I don't know what other reprints will be in the set, but when they do show up, I will definitely let you guys know. Maybe I can find out right now. Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second. I might be able to find it. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. The Egyptian god cards as rugs. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. Nothing yet, but apparently Photon Hypernova has something good for us, apparently. So, I definitely have a lot of work to do with that one. But, yeah, I guess that's it. I don't really know what other, what reprints are going to be in the set. But I will definitely let you guys know. But with that being said, if you guys enjoy this Yu-Gi-Oh news video and you guys want to see more, which get posted every Tuesday and sometimes on weekends, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, turn on the notification bell, and be sure to follow me on all of my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. If you guys want to send me fan mail and you guys want to see me open it up on the channel, the info will be in the description as well. Let's get straight into it. Kicking things off, we have Hair the Sword Mikano, which is a 3-star fire warrior with 0 attack and defense, and the second effect is a once per turn. And the first effect reads: if this card is not equipped with any equipped card, you take no battle damage for battles involving it. If it is, it cannot be destroyed by battle, and your opponent takes any battle damage you would take from battles involving it instead. So this is basically a 3-star version of Yubel. So if you guys have never heard of Yubel, it's a really old card that was released in Phantom Darkness, and other Yu-Gi tubers, I think, who was it, DZev? Yeah, I think DZev. He kept talking shit about Yubel in one of his videos, saying that she sucks and that her effects aren't that good. But the way I see it, her effect is pretty nutty. So Yubel has 3 forms: Yubel, Terror Incarnate, and Yubel the Ultimate Nightmare. Yubel's effect reads: this card cannot be destroyed by battle. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card. Before damage count, when this card is attacked and it was in face-up attack position, when it was selected as attack target, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attacking monster's attack. During your end phase, distribute one other monster or destroy this card. When this card is destroyed, except by its own effect, its owner can special summon Yubel Terror Incarnate from the hand, deck, or graveyard. So basically, with Yubel, you take no damage, and any damage you would have took, your opponent takes instead. Which is it's a pretty nutty effect. It's a pretty nutty effect, but of course too, with Terror Incarnate, your opponent gets dealt damage. Gets dealt damage, and the whole board gets destroyed. And when Terror Incarnate is gone, you can summon the Ultimate Nightmare. Which can just pop monsters and deal your opponent damage. So the idea of building a deck around Yubel is basically damage, So it's a pretty cool effect. With Hair, it's basically the same thing, but it also has a second effect which reads, if this card becomes equipped with an equipped card, you can add 1 Mikano equipped spell from your deck to your hand. So it's basically Spell Trap Rhoda for the whole deck, and it's one of your main combo starters, which is really cool. Not much else to say about that, except the fact that you're able to deal your opponent damage, which is really cool. By the way, guys, before we move on, if you guys hear any music in the background, I've got Zora's Domain, the night version from Breath of the Wild, and shoutouts to the game. We found out we're finally getting the sequel to it, which I believe they called it. Let me see. Hang on, guys. Let me see. They called it. They're calling it. They're calling it the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, which will be released May 12th of next year, which honestly is awesome. I cannot wait for it. Who knows? Maybe by then you guys will see me in WWE and I can do a gameplay of it. Who knows? But with that being said, I'm excited for that game, and all I gotta say is let's go. Finally, it took them long enough to finally get the game into development. And also shouts to Brisk for the peach tea. Not sponsored. Peach tea is awesome. But anyway, yeah, Hair is basically your combo starter where you can add where if you already have an equipped card in your hand and you equipped that card to Hair, you basically get to add another Mikano equipped spell to your hand from the deck. So it acts as it's as if you kept the card advantage over your opponent, which is really nice. Next up, we have Nini the Mirror Mikano, which is a 3-star water spellcaster. with 0 attack and defense, and I believe the first effect is the same. Yeah, so okay, yeah, I thought so. So the first effect of Nini is the exact same as Hair, but the second effect is different, which reads, during your opponent's turn, while this card is equipped with an equipped card as a quick effect, you can target one face of a monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end phase. So it's essentially a Snatch Steal. It's basically a Snatch Steal, which is just insane. It's just too good. Just too good. I don't even have to say anything else about it. But there's a note underneath that says Nini is themed after a cat, or more specifically a Nekomata, a cat-themed yokai. Alright, nice little history lesson over there. Next up, we have Mikano of the Ohime, which is the ritual monster that I was talking about, which is a 6-star light fairy ritual with 0 attack and defense, and it has 3 separate effects. You can ritual summon this card with Mikano Kagura, and can only use the first and third effect once per turn. The first effect reads, you can reveal this card in your hand, add 1 Mikano card from your deck to your hand, except this card, then discard 1 card. So obviously, if you have this card in your hand, you can basically reveal it, and you get to just go ahead and add you can add the ritual spell, and you can just go ahead and pop off from there, which is not too bad. Not too bad. The only thing though is that some people will say that you can use Rhoda, or you can use advanced ritual art or something like that. No. Truth be told, the way I see it, judging by what the effects of these cards do, the way I see it, I think just having cards like having only 2 copies of Manju or Senju, or potentially having 1 of each, is just perfectly fine in my personal opinion, because you're gonna be doing a lot of searching off of the effects of the spells, of the spells and traps anyway. So there's really yeah, I thought so. Basically, you're gonna be doing a lot of discarding from the deck to your graveyard, adding from deck to hand. You're gonna be doing that a lot. So there's really no need for cards like Rhoda, or perhaps or perhaps the advanced ritual art. One Senju, 1 Manju, and I think you're pretty much just good to go. But if you do open with the Ohime, then it basically acts as its own Manju, if you will, which is actually not too bad of an effect. The second effect reads, cannot be destroyed by battle, and your opponent takes any battle damage you would take from battles involving this card instead. So yeah, it's basically Yubel on steroids, which is insane. Third effect, which is a quick effect, reads, you can target 1 equipped spell in your grave, equip it to an appropriate monster on the field. All right, I mean, to be fair, you can take any of the Mikano spells, any of the Mikano equipped spells, and just equip it to Ohime, and you got a beefy monster on board, which is pretty cool. Let's see here. There's a note underneath that reads, Ohime means big or great princess, but it also sounds like the Japanese term for Pomoids? Filamentosis? I probably just butchered that. I.e. the Crimson Jobfish, Rosy Snapper, Blue Spot Jobfish, Crimson Snapper, King Emperor, King Snapper, or Rosy Jobfish. What the hell is a job? You know what? I want to look that up. What in the hell is a Jobfish? let's see. Let's see, Jobfish. Let's have a look. Green Jobfish. Species... Oh, it's a type of fish. I guess they can only be seen in Japan? I don't know. I have no idea, but it's a big fish. The green jobfish is a pelagic fish to open waters of deep lagoons, channels, or seaward reefs at depths from the surface down to 120 meters or 390 feet. Wow, it's... Oh, it's a, I guess it might be in places like Hawaii and in like Japan or something like that. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But that's basically what it does. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But now we gotta move on into the spells of the whole archetype. And the first one is Doorway of the Celestial Mikano, which is the field spell for them, and it has 3 effects. And the first effect reads, while you control a monster or monsters equipped with an equipped card, your opponent's monsters, excuse me, must attack them if able. So it's basically Yubel's anime effect, where it forces your opponent to attack if it's able to, which is pretty nuts. I have to admit that's actually pretty nuts. If you're trying to force the game, then this card will definitely clinch it for you easily. That's actually pretty cool. Second effect reads, if your Mikano monster battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Ooh. So if you were going up against Black Wings, they cannot use Kalut on your ass. Yeah, can't say I'm surprised about that. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty broken. Wow. The third effect reads, if your Mikano monster attacks at the end of the damage step, you can send one equipped card you control to the grave. That monster can make another attack in a row on a monster. Oh. So it's basically cyber. So with that effect, it acts as the Cyber Twin Dragon, which is pretty cool. The Gray Mikano of Legend, which is the quick play spell, and this definitely looks like something out of like ReZero, because the card. Try and show it off. Looks like something out of like ReZero. Let me see. There we go. So right here we've got Rom, and over here is Rem, because they got blue and red hair. In which again, by the way, if you guys did not get the chance to watch ReZero, you guys need to watch it. It is so insane. It is an insane anime. It's, how can I put it? Literally the whole 2 seasons has nothing but dark scenes in it. But once you get towards the end, once you get to the last the last 8 episodes of each. Not episodes, the last 8 minutes of each episode, it becomes more happy, more joyful. It has like a happy ending, if you, I guess you could say, to it, which is actually pretty cool. But yeah, that they definitely look like Rom and Rem from ReZero, which is pretty crazy. But the name of the card is called the Great Mikano of Legend, and it's a quick play spell which has 2 effects, both of which are once per turn, and the first effect reads, special summon one Mikano monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions, but return it to the hand during your opponent's end phase. The second effect reads, during your main phase, you can banish this card from your grave, send one Mikano card from your deck to the grave, except this card. So basically this acts as sort of like a fake hero, where fake hero lets you special summon a hero from your hands, but you have to bounce it back to the hand during the end phase. This one, there's actually a way you can bypass it. You can actually use the monster as Xyz material going into a rank 3, which there's quite a few of them, and one of the most notable ones that you can go into is Bamboozling Gossip Shadow, I think is the name. Which the card is just the card is actually pretty decent, I must admit. So being able to just special summon the fucking ritual spell, the ritual monster, ignoring all of its summoning conditions, is just insane. And being able to attack into it off of the effects of the field spell, being able to attack twice, that's a pretty good combo. I must admit. and then of course too, it acts as with the second effect, it basically acts as a foolish burial, if you will. So you can basically just send so you can send pretty much any card you want from your deck to your graveyard, and whatever card you send to your graveyard, you'll be able to get its effects off depending on what you send, and you could push for game for the most part. But now we gotta move on into the equip spells, and the first one is Blazing Dance of the Mikano, which again is an equip spell, and it has two separate effects. The first effect reads, special summon one Mikano monster from your hand or grave, and if you do equip it with this card, then you can special summon a monster from your opponent's grave to their field, but its effects are negated. Ew. Okay, so it's basically a Cyber Rev System Monster Reborn, but for your opponent. So you can basically cyber Rev System any monster that you want, any Mikano monster, equip this card to it, and then target one of your opponent's monsters, reborn it to their board, but it does not get any of its effects, which is actually really good because by that logic you can actually just you can just poke into it, activate the field spell's effect, and then you'll basically be able to activate the field spell effect and attack again for game, depending on your opponent's life points, which is actually really good. Next up we have Purifying Dance of the Mikano, and the first effect reads, the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. Second effect reads, if a monster or monsters is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can target a monster you control, and a monster your opponent controls, return them to the hand. So it's basically a double double compulse, which I don't have anything to say about that. Next up, we have Inviting Rondo of the Mikano, and whoa, it has 4 separate effects, which and the card reads, can be equipped to a monster your opponent controls. You can only activate one card with the card's name per turn. The first effect reads, you can only control one Inviting Rondo of the Mikano. Excuse me. Second effect reads, take control of the equipped monster while you control a Mikano monster. Third effect reads, the equipped monster cannot activate its effects while you control it. And the fourth effect reads, when this card leaves the field, send the equipped monster to the grave. So this basically gives you access to go into a Link 4 play, or even a Link 5 play, which you can go into your Underworld Goddess if you were running that in your extra deck. That's actually not too bad. And then of course we got the ritual spell, Mikano Kagura, which reads Ritual Summon one Mikano monster from your hands by attributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed the level of a ritual monster of the ritual monster you summon. Then you can destroy cards your opponent controls up to the number of equipped spells with different names in your grave. And if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to them for each card destroyed by this effect. Ew. That's quite the amount of damage your opponent's going to be taking, which, again, this basically gives you a push for game for the most part, which is really cool. Next up, we have Mikano Promise, which is a normal trap. How many traps are there? 1, 2. Okay, so 2 traps, and then, of course, we got the other equip spell, and then the 2 reprints. So, first up, we have Mikano Promise, which is a normal trap, and it's a once per turn, which reads, special summon one Mikano monster from your hand or deck, but banish it when it leaves the field. Then you can equip a monster with one appropriate equip spell from your hand or graveyard. So basically, it basically lets you special summon from the deck and then equip it with one of your equip spells. And the question is, how do you bypass the banish effect? Use the monster as exceeds material. That's it. That's all you got to do. That's all you have to do. Not much else to say about that. And then last up we have Mikano Catfight, which is a normal trap, and it has 2 separate effects, which are both once per turn. And the first effect reads: if you control a Mikano monster, target one face-up monster on the field, equip it with one appropriate equip spell from the deck. If the second effect reads: if an equipped spell or spells is sent from your graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, then target one equipped spell in your grave, add it to your hand. So it's basically Graveyard Rota, where it's basically Graveyard Rota, where you can just add one of your Mikano equipped spells to your hand, and you can basically just activate it, pop off from there, summon the ritual monster, clap it up for game. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. There are a couple of notes underneath that reads this one exactly eludes us. It probably is referring Kami as in God, Kami possibly as in hair, but I think it's going for Kami, argue, and Karabe, contest for argument. Considering the cat notions of Nini and hair being mouse themed, I think Catfight might work. I don't even know if they're gonna call it Catfight, but if they do, that's fucking awesome. As to sightness on this of how much this card is a headache, I'm just super confused by cat and mouse. Also, Sword and Mirror. Also, Goddess is citrus and chicken. And don't ask questions, just consume cute girls and get excited for next cute girls. Oh my god, that is gonna be the most hilarious note I've ever read. That is so hilarious. Wow. That's actually pretty funny, I have to admit. But we got to move on to the other equipped spell. It is known as hold on. Wait a minute. How the hell do I pronounce this? Arabskew? I believe that's how it's pronounced. Arabesque of the Mikano. I probably just butchered that, but the second effect is a once per turn, and the first effect reads: the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. Second effect reads: during your main phase, you can special summon one Mikano monster from your hand or deck with a different original name than the equipped monster, and if you do, equip this card to it. Then return the monster this card was equipped to the hand. So again, it basically lets you compulse it back to the hands, which is pretty nice. But you can again by again, bypass it by using the monster as excuse material, or even link material for that matter, which is really nice. Not much else to say about that. There's a note here that says arabesque are classical pieces of music meant to evoke an Arabic feel. Basically, Hair does more Japanese folk dances, while Nini does foreign dances. Okay, yeah, okay, I thought so. So it's more. So it's kind of similar. It's basically similar to the ReZero build, to the ReZero anime, which is pretty cool. Now for the reprint. So the reprint for the Puri Archetype. If you guys have not checked out that video, I recommend you check it out. I went a little in depth with the entire Puri Archetype. And basically just talked about some of the different plays you could potentially make with the deck, which is really nice. That reprint, that Archetype's reprint will be Xyz's import, which makes perfect sense because it's an Xyz archetype. And then the reprint for the Mikano archetype is Hidden Armory, which I'm not surprised about. I'm not surprised about it, but those are the reprints. Again, if we do get any more reprints in at some point for this set, I will talk about them on the channel. But that brings me to the question of the day. Among the three archetypes, Rescue Ace, Puri, Mikano, among those three archetypes, which one are you looking forward to building the most? And do you think any of these decks will be meta once the set gets released? Let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. And if you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more Yu-Gi-Oh news videos, which get posted every Tuesday and of course sometimes on weekends, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.